Oh hi. Schwerin, the city in Germany, the administrative center of the federal land Mecklenburg-Pomerania, where has the status of the extra-regional city, is located among the system of lakes from which main thing is Schwerin or Ski. The population of the city by assessment for December 31, 2017 is 95797 people. As of December 31, 2011, minus 91327 inhabitants. For 2000, 101,267 people. For 1990, 127,447 people. For 1970, 97389 people lived in the city. As the German chronicler Titmer Merzbergsky testifies, Schwerin arose near the Slavic strengthening crushed in 1018 Schwerin. In 1160, according to Heinrich Lev's instructions, having become at the same time the first city in the territory won at Slavs. During 1167-1648 it was the location of the bishop and the spiritual center of all region.
In 1358 the Duke of Mecklenburg Albrecht II inherited the city, which had the right to be the place of the residence of the count, and lodged in the loch which, except for two breaks, served as the place of stay of Dukes Mecklenburg up to 1918. In 1628-1631 dukes were forced to leave him in punishment for their allied relationship with Denmark, and in 1756-1837 when their residence was in Nudvislusta.
Sites and museums. The Schwerin Castle is constructed on the island on the place of older building. The building presents itself in the plan the wrong pentagon formed by 5 wings, and it is considered the most known structure of the city. The loch took a modern form in 1845-1857. Before it, the Duke Friedrich Franz II sent the court architect George Adolf Daimler, already famous for the works in the city which he carried out since 1825, and the builder Hermann Willebrand to a business trip to England and France.
It went in 1844 and received the strongest impressions of Chateau de Chambord-en-Loire, which lines are obviously traced in the image of the building, representing mixture of various styles, and the generalized eclectic style representing not the best sample fashionable at the time.
According to Gottfried Semper's proposal, the building was given the main 70-meter tower. In 1851 Daimler had to depart for political motives from work which was continued by Friedrich Augustus Stühler.
On the facade turned to a castle garden, it executed a deep niche in which I placed an equestrian statue of the Slavic prince Nikolai, who was perfidiously killed in fight.
The statue was executed by Christian Genschow. On May 26, 1857 the Duke and the Duchess with a big pomp drove to the new residence. Before the wind coming to the Castle Lake in 1935, the sculpture of the Grand Duke Paul Friedrich, executed in 1849 by Christian Danijel Roch, was established. Now some rooms of the loch are occupied Lantage, and in the others museum expositions are placed. The building of the museum is built by Hermann Willebrand in late classical style on the place of the palace of the Duke, begun by Daimler.
The collection of this museum originates from the former Museum of the Grand Duke,
1877-1882, which was expanded in 1901-1902.
This building, with his monumental ladder and the portico formed by the Ionic columns, is a part of the Schwerin State Museum.
Schwerin is rich with theatrical traditions. Grandiose statements of operas are carried out to summertime in the open air. The theatre building with his monumental central projection is in the place of the burned-down building of construction of Daimler. The building is built by George Daniel in 1883-1885 in style of the Neo-Renaissance. The modern building of the cathedral represents the third church construction on this place. In 1228 on his place the Romance Basilica from which the ceremonial portal at the southern aisle remained was consecrated. The Trionethny Basilica was built in 1270-1416. The cathedral took a modern form only in 1988. By the sizes it is considered one of the largest buildings built in style of a brick Gothic style. On length of the main nave, equal 100 m, it is considered the largest church of the Hanseatic period on Baltic.
Height of his tower constructed only in 1889-1892 by George Daniel is 117.5 m.
In the temple there is a bronze epitaph to the Duchess Elena cast in the Nuremberg workshop of Peter Fischer in 1527. Palace Garden.
It is considered an outstanding model of landscape gardening art, one of monuments of nationwide cultural value of Germany. The park is created by the Prussian Royal Director of Parks Peter Joseph Lenn and after reconstruction is opened for visit in 2001.
Szelfsky Church. Paul's Church. Buildings of the architect G.A. Daimler. Town Hall. Russian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchy in Schwerin. Cemetery of the Victims of Fascism. Personnel. Augustus is the German physicist. Elmenrike Franziska is the German actress. Rybnikov, Sergei Viktorovich is the Russian test pilot. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.